Interest rates are going up. Trying to get ahead is mighty, mighty tough. Bill collectors at my door. I need someone to help me raise my credit score.
Welcome everybody to the Pearl Polto Show. I am Pearl Polto. Many of you have seen me on your local channel stations. Many of you heard me on your favorite radio stations talking about your credit rights and your consumer rights. Well, we're going to take this one step further, so you won't even have to leave the comforts of your own home, and you can watch the Pearl Polto Show talking about every topic out there concerning your rights. So what I'm asking of you is to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your relatives to tune into the Pearl Polto Show. Now, what does it take to get your attention to watch my show? Do I have to tell you that I'm taking your home in foreclosure? Do I have to harass you on the phone, at work, and at home? Or do I have to steal your identity? And do I have to commit a hate crime, as we've heard all across the country? If all of the above concerns you, plus some, stealing your credit cards, the bill collectors harassing you, even the credit card companies, and the latest things that you've seen that are scams all over our country, then I want you to listen what I have to say every week. We have a lot of good shows coming up, and here's the list of them. Bill collectors, what to do, what not to do, how to talk to a bill collector, what to say to him on the phone, and what not to say to him on the phone, so you're not raising a red flag. We're going to talk about bankruptcy. Now, bankruptcy, who should apply, who should not apply? Should everybody apply? Well, that answer is no. Everybody should not apply. We also were going to be talking about mortgages. How many people are losing your mortgages, foreclosures? How many heard about the word modifications? How many of you have gotten ripped off by attorneys that are charging $3,000, $10,000, even as high as $15,000 to tell you you would not lose your home? You lost it anyway. So all this is going to be so important to you to pass the word around, to get the right education. And I've been doing this for 30 years. I've done everything under the sun when it comes to your credit rights. We're also going to talk about the laws on credit. Is it boring, the laws on credit? No, it's not boring. Congress, we have elections coming up every year. Congress is put into office so we can live credit-free, so we could live by our credit rights. But what do? These are the same people that passed the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and these are the same people that doesn't know what to do. You know, when I contacted the Congress, and I say to them, there's a new scam going on. There's a new scam with the bill collectors. There's a new scam with the bank. They don't know what I'm talking about. So what does this tell you? Or what does it tell you when a bankruptcy attorney says, hey, you have to help me correct my credit? These are bankruptcy attorneys that take on clients. When I do some surveys, and you ought to know if you're getting harassed by any bill collector, and you go to an attorney, or your friends or neighbors says, you better see an attorney, it's the only way to save your home, and they say to you, file bankruptcy is the only way to go. Well, it's not. On these shows, you're going to learn why not to listen to your friend, why not to listen to that attorney when you can know your credit rights. Then we're going to have the pearls of wisdom. The pearls of wisdom is there is many credit cards. If you can remember how many out there can remember the first bank of over 15, 20 years ago. Can you remember? Sit back and try to remember the first bank that you had 15, 20 years ago. You cannot remember it. Why? They went out of business. So you're going to know why they went out of business, how come they went out of business, and what's going on that our government isn't stopping this decade of fraud that's happening. And why I'm saying decade of fraud is because even the banks are not aware of your credit rights. And that's the pretty sad part. Why is it now, out of all these years, all the scams are coming through different countries? And if you're in another country and you're sitting there watching this, hey, it could be your country that's doing it. It could be your hacker that's doing this. But there's too many scams going on. And we're going to talk about all the scams. One show is just going to be about all the scams to avoid, all the scams that are going on out there. when it comes to what to do, what not to do. And if you're a senior citizen, because this is who they're attacking. So if your family, your grandmother, your mother, or your next door neighbor is a senior citizen and they don't know what to do, and you're going to direct them the right way to know their rights. You're going to direct your own congressman in your area, in your state, to say, hey, you know what? I just watched the Pearl Polto show, and I don't like what's going on. You're the people that passed these laws, and look what's happening. We're getting victimized. How are we getting victimized? Well, even the credit cards companies. It's interesting what they're doing to the people. You can't pay. You're out of work. You lost your job. You just got operated on. And the credit card companies are saying, you owe us $100 a month. And you call them because you are responsible. You call them and you say to them, I can't pay the $100 a month until I get back on my feet again. And they say to you, sorry, you have to pay the $100 a month. Well, you're just telling them you can't, so why are they telling you? They don't care about your rights. So what happens? You don't mail them the $100 a month. And I'm going to tell you in future shows why to mail that $100 a month. And then what happens is, a month later, you're going to get a bill. Let's say you owe them $14,000. You're going to get a bill a month later saying, minimum payment due, not $100 anymore, but now it's going to be $14,000. Those people out there, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. You received your bill, you opened up your bill, and you're saying, what is this, minimum payment? They want the whole amount. I just told them I couldn't afford to pay it. All this is going on in our society. All this is going on when it comes to your problems with credit, your finances, the banks. There's no credit schools out there. There has never been credit schools out there. And the reason for that, the Fair Credit Reporting Act was passed years ago. It was passed because of our government, our congressmen. And all these laws that they're supposed to know, because they're the one that made these laws up, they're even unfamiliar with the laws. So how could we, the people, be familiar with every law that's out there? Well, I can assure you that I know from 30 years every law that's out there, and none of them has been changed. Even though the president will say, hey, you know what, let's go for a modification for our homes. Let's have everybody save their homes. But they're not, because people are losing their homes. Then people are creating a scam. Attorneys are creating scams on charging people, and they're not giving them the service. Or the mortgage companies. Or let's take it a step further. You're married, woman and credit. What's your rights? You have more rights than you think you do on your own credit card. I've always said, we're going to do a show on this as well, husband and wife, you should not be combined together. You should be separate, your husband should be separate. And here's why: in case of death or divorce, because then you're attached to him, he's attached to you. And it's pretty scary if one of you's got a divorce, your bad credit goes with her, vice versa. So you need to know, every woman out there, the scams, and I'm saying scams, that some of the banks will use on different types of women. When I'm saying different types of women, if they see you're African American, if they see you're Italian, if they see you're Spanish, if they see you're Latino, and they don't know the laws, and they say to you, well, I'm not going to give you this loan because I'm not sure you could pay it back. Well, that's a prejudice. And that has to be reported. So little things are your rights that you never even... You're going to have your own little school right here on the Pearl Polto Show. And this is my way of saying to you, we're not going to take it no more. Enough is enough. And we have nothing to lose. You know, walking in, the bank manager or the supervisor said, you know, Pearl, the name of your show should be... You're all saying, I have nothing to lose. Well, I'm going to say to you by the time you're done listening to every show out there, you have nothing to lose. What's the worst that can happen? Can they lock you up? No. Can they take your home? Well, they can threaten you, but not in today's world. Today's world, they cannot attach your wages, only in different states now. We're going to go into these states on different shows who can attach wages, and what to do about it to safeguard yourself, and the states that are exempt. And the reason why I'm saying exempt, there's a lot of people that don't know the meaning of it. I'm a paralegal, but it has nothing at all to do with credit laws. Credit laws come from Congress, not from law school. And when I studied law to become a paralegal, I think I was shocked to see what the attorneys knew about credit. Nothing, just bankruptcy laws. Well, that was actually to my advantage, but I thought it was to my advantage until I realized it's to your disadvantage because you're making many, many mistakes worldwide. And then we have the different countries. We have the Latino areas that speak Spanish only, and they don't speak English. Well, then how is it that they can get their mortgage? They can't get their mortgage. They can't get their mortgage because they don't understand the language. So why doesn't our government correct this? So this is what my education is going to be to you for all my shows when it comes to the banks, when it comes to the credit bureaus. When I started, we're going to talk about the credit bureaus and what I would like everybody to know and to do. Because you're going to get instructions, you're going to get rules. We're going to get a lot of things in here. When I started, there was 6 major credit bureaus. We're down to 3. Coincidence. It's not a coincidence. I'm hoping to be down to 2. Because how can you have a credit bureau that's a bill collector at the same time? Isn't that a conflict of interest, as they say in the law? Conflict of interest when a credit bureau is a bill collector. They can report you and collect from you at the same time. Pretty sad. What's our government doing about it? Nothing. When I reported all this to Congress, to Washington, here's what their answer is. This is why I'm taking it to the people. You, we, the people. Our Constitution, we, the people. Our congressman says, well, we would like to have a House bill passed, but they're so backed up with House bills. They don't know what's first, what's second, what's third. Now, this is the elections coming up when everybody's saying, vote for us when it comes to the elections every year. They're so bagged up with bill collections. They're so bagged up with House bills. They're just passing House bills that some of them don't even know what they stand for. The people do. You do. We, the people, do. But our Constitution is going downhill. I've said 30 years ago that we're overboard and over in debt. Now we are over in debt. There should have been a depression in our country, and there was. And everybody's trying to push it under the carpet. There's people out of work. There's stores closing every day in your street, your area, your city, and your state. Now, what are we supposed to do about it? Get the education so they don't hurt us. We need solutions. I have the solutions. I have the solutions. This is why I said, tell your friends, tell your family. Every week, we will do different shows. We will even have live shows to show you what to do, how to encourage the people so we, the people, can change this economy around. Can I change the economy around? Of course. I have the secrets. They're not even secrets. I have sat down with Washington. I've sat down with senators to say, I have the answers. I've told the people. And there are answers what we can do about the debt. But then it came across me. I don't think our government or our banks or our congressmen wants answers. Because if they did, my solutions were very, very simple that even you can understand as a consumer. My quest is, and it's not the impossible dream, believe me, my quest is for you to understand everything there is that I'm saying, to continue to watch every show, because every show is going to be important. I don't care if you have to get your pens, your tape recorders, download it, do what you have to do, and then pass the word around, because this is your future. It's my future too, but my future is now. As all my clients say, Pearl, you have nothing to lose. And I've always said, go to my website, pearlpolto.net. You're going to see who I am. But let's not see who I am. Just get the education and let's correct the system. And I can guarantee you by the time we're done, every scam, every country, every person out there that thinks they're terrorists in this country, and they could stop us right away just by the computer. They don't need a gun. And the people are hurting. Who's listening? I'm listening. Pearl Polto, the Pearl Polto Show. We are listening and putting the people all together. Everybody come to the Pearl Polto Show. And you know what? We will make a difference. And I'm going to be so satisfied to sit down with the president one day to say, we made it. We made it. We're going to make a difference. And now nothing can stop us now. I want to thank you. Continue to watch the shows of the future, the Pearl Polto Show. Thank you.
Interest.